Hey everybody, welcome into another edition of Football Friday with BC4 Performance. I'm Coach Bobby Cole, and today we're going to be talking about Nick Bosa, Defensive Player of the Year from the San Francisco 49ers, and how great fundamentals and technique allowed him to make dominant and consistent plays throughout the entire season. A lot of these fundamentals are very similar to that of wide receivers and cornerbacks because we need to play with great leverage, great power, and great speed, and that all starts with our lower half and our base extending all the way up through our upper half, and it starts guys in the weight room with really good strength training, but also with great fundamentals. So the first play we're going to see here is a straight power rush from Nick Bosa, and what he's going to do here is just be the low man, okay? So when he goes through this, he's going to be the low man. He's going to drive up and underneath the offensive lineman here, bench press him off, and then get through for the sack. But really where it starts, guys, is that lower half, like I said. So right here as he tries to turn the corner, he does a really good job of squaring his shoulders up to the offensive lineman to get where he wants to go. His hips are going in the same direction as his shoulders, okay? All of hips and shoulders are going together, and he has great power in the legs, okay? He gets very low in a great low lunge stance where he can explode off of this and create and generate power. So what he's going to do a really good job of here is when he gets low like this, he does a great job exploding out and sending his weight up and through and not bending his back over or rounding out his back where it kind of interrupts that power. So he doesn't round that back, keeps it straight. He's able to push up through the offensive lineman. Then at the end, he does a really good job of bench pressing him off. He gets inside. Okay, we'll see it around here again, right? Very big offensive lineman, talented offensive lineman that he just gets underneath with great leverage and great power and pushes out. This is the same as wide receivers starting out in a very, low lunge position. All right, if we take this back, so right here for wide receivers, you want to be in a position like this. If you're a cornerback and you're going to change direction or change speed, you want to be able to drop your hips. You want to be able to get low with these legs and generate some power. So it all goes back, guys, to basic principles, basic fundamentals. And this position right here, you could look at, we could mirror it with a wide receiver, a defensive back, a linebacker, but this is a really good position, and that's going to be for a lunge, for a squat. All right, so that's where some of these things all come into play, and they work across the board, okay? Next play that we're going to have from Nick Bosa here is it's going to be a spin move, all right? So the spin move here is going to generate some pressure. It doesn't generate a sack, but generate some pressure, all right? So Nick Bosa, top of the screen. We'll take it back for a second, all right? So he's up here, and he does a very good job of attacking up the field as if he's trying to bend this corner, okay? So right now he's looking and attacking right at the lineman, and looks like he's trying to gain some speed to get around the edge. Makes the offensive lineman move his feet a little quicker to the outside, and then Nick does a really good job here of this left foot. As it lands right there above the 50, it's straight. So now he's starting to turn his hips. So when he starts this play and he starts running, his hips are facing this direction. But now once he lands with his left foot straight, he's starting that rotation of his body to get into that spin. So now he lands with that left that's straight, and then his right foot, if you look, he does a really good job. That right foot, guys, is flipped all the way around to the other sideline. So now he's allowing his hips to start to turn, and now he can finish this off by taking that left foot that he had that was straight. Now he can flip that leg around inside here, lean his back against the offensive lineman, and now get back inside, okay? So one thing right here that's huge is foot angles, all right? We've talked about foot angles, whether it's for defensive backs trying to change direction or if we're talking about wide receivers trying to make a cut. If you're running a slant, a post, a corner, and out, it's all about foot angles because that's going to dictate where your hips are going to go, all right? So once again, we talk about something that goes for a defensive end, but it also goes for, wide receivers, defensive backs, linebackers, you could say the same thing. Running backs, you could say the same thing if they're going to make a cut. So really good job by him there. All right, and then this last play is going to be a sack where he goes unblocked, but the biggest thing is getting away from this running back. All right, so when he goes to get away from this running back, he comes inside, reads the play, and right now he's sized up. All right, so running back has some room, and he has some room. All right, and he has a nice angle, but realistically, with this distance here, the running back should have no problem stepping inside here and blocking him off. All right, Nick does a great job of closing the gap, and right as he closes the gap, he identifies where where the running back's arms are going to be, and he doesn't even need to necessarily look at them, but he knows where they're coming from, and he does a great job of slipping by, and he attacks the main thing that we always talk about for defensive ends or defensive linemen to attack is the elbows, okay? So if we go back and watch, all right, he's going to attack the elbow of the running back here, and that's what's going to allow him to get right by, all right? So when we look at it here, right at this point, all right, his hand is right on that elbow of the running back, and he's not even looking at the running back, he's watching the quarterback. So this is where technique and discipline of practicing this so many times, he's so good right now as he extends those arms out, he gets to that player before the running back can get hands on him, he attacks the elbow, which is going to be the most important spot because that's going to turn that shoulder. All right, guys, if you go and attack an offensive lineman or running back and you just hit their hand or their wrist, these guys are so strong, they're going to be able to muscle their arm out of it and then slide to the left to stay in front of you. But if you attack those elbows, you're going to turn their body, and then they're going to flip around just like that running back does, and they're going to have no chance. So you see right here, he slips and pushes that arm, and that running back has no chance because he can't get hands on him. So 3 plays, guys. We have a power rush, we have a spin move, and we have a slip by to be able to turn into a sack, pressure on a quarterback, and then another sack. So these are just 3 really good plays where it's nothing flashy, it's nothing crazy that nobody else can do. They're just good, consistent plays, good, consistent fundamentals, and they all can go to any position on the field. And that's where you should treat, no matter what position you play, make sure that you have good fundamentals and good technique starting in the weight room, then going to running and speed and agility, and then turn it on to the field, and you're going to be a really good player, all right? And guys, if we can look at one thing really quick, this is not even looking at Nick Bosa. If we look on this field right now, right, we have DK Metcalf. Look at his body position, all right? Good angles of the legs. Tyler Lockett in the slot, same thing, really good angles here. Each of these linebackers, okay, safety, right? Good knee bend, but also their backs are straight. They're flat. If we were going to ask them to squat right now, at least these guys, they're all ready to squat a lot of heavy weight. Okay, these guys right here look like they're about to burst off the line very fast. All right, we talk shin angles, all right? A lot of these defensive linemen, the shin angles are the same. Okay, so they're ready to burst and get out. All right, so we just talk about some of this technique, guys. This is just a simple play, and this is just the lineup, and this is where these guys are all lined up, ready to go, all right, with good fundamentals and good positioning. So that's where you guys need to take this. If you can master just the position, if you can master a lunge, if you can master a squat, you can really start having the building blocks of being an NFL player or being a great high school player, a college player. So keep that stuff in mind, guys. Keep grinding. If you have players you want to see, all right, please throw it in the comments. All right, click the subscribe button so you can get these every single week. And we're just going to keep going over fundamentals from different players, guys, and showing you how you can take that into your training and be the best player that you can be on the field.